I never set out to break any laws. That's the one sentence I repeat to myself even now, years later. It was 2020, during the long months of lockdown. Days blurred into nights, and boredom sat heavy in my chest like something physical. I knew just enough about computers, basic coding, a little networking, to feel dangerously confident. Like millions of others stuck at home, I had heard stories about the dark web. One sleepless night, more out of restlessness than real curiosity, I decided to see it for myself. I downloaded the Tor browser. No VPN, no extra precautions. I told myself nothing bad would happen if I was just looking. That was my first mistake. At first, it was underwhelming. The infamous dark web felt more broken than dangerous. Dead links, slow loading pages, abandoned forums, and sketchy marketplaces that looked cheaply made or wildly overpriced. After nearly an hour of clicking through empty corners of the internet, I was ready to close everything and move on. Then I found the forum. It was bare and ugly. No banners, no images, no fancy design, just plain text threads stretching down the page. The titles were blunt and unsettling. Fresh logs EU, need access. Urgent, verified database dump, 2020. I didn't understand half the slang, but something kept me scrolling. I clicked on one thread. Inside were long blocks of raw text, thousands of email addresses paired with passwords, usernames, IP addresses, and sometimes even security questions. It took a few seconds for my brain to process what I was seeing. This wasn't made-up data. These were real stolen credentials. I should have closed the tab right then. Instead, I kept reading. The original poster had included a small sample list as a preview. My eyes moved down the lines until one entry made my stomach drop. The email format looked painfully familiar. It wasn't mine, but it belonged to someone from my own college. Same domain, same naming pattern I had seen every day on campus. Suddenly the screen felt too bright and the room too quiet. I hadn't posted anything. I hadn't typed a single word. I was only reading, just lurking. Then a new reply appeared at the bottom of the thread. Stop lurking. You're not careful. My fingers froze on the mouse. It could have been a coincidence. People say strange things online all the time. I tried to convince myself it was nothing. A few seconds later, another reply popped up. You're on a residential connection. Don't stay long. That was when the fear hit differently. I hadn't logged into anything. I hadn't created an account. I had done nothing except open the page. Yet someone had noticed me. I suddenly remembered things I had only half understood before: browser fingerprinting, JavaScript leaks, timing attacks. Tor hides your location, but it doesn't hide stupidity if you don't know what you're doing. I slammed the tab shut, then closed the entire browser. For a long minute, I just sat there in the dark, heart pounding, staring at my blank monitor. I should have left it alone. Instead, I made my second mistake. I opened my regular browser and checked my email. Everything looked normal at first. Then I hit refresh. A new security alert waited for me. Unusual login attempt detected. The location shown wasn't even close to my city. Someone had tried to get in. That's when it all connected. It wasn't some Hollywood-style instant hack. It was far simpler and far more embarrassing. I had reused the same password across multiple sites for years. One of those old, forgotten websites had clearly been breached, and its database was now floating on that forum. My credentials were probably sitting there for anyone to try. The damage didn't come as a dramatic explosion. It arrived quietly and steadily. My main email account got locked within hours. Password reset requests started appearing on several other services. One of my social media profiles showed a successful login from another country. It felt slow, patient, and professional, like someone was carefully testing what they could reach before I noticed. I stayed up the entire night fixing the mess. I changed every password, enabled two-factor authentication everywhere I could, logged out all active sessions, and reviewed login histories. Sleep never came, not because I feared someone was physically coming after me, but because I finally understood how careless and exposed I had been. What stayed with me long after wasn't the ugly forum or the stolen data. It was that single, calm line from a stranger. "You're not careful." It didn't sound like a threat. It sounded like a cold, accurate observation. I never went back to the dark web. Not because I think it's some evil, cursed corner of the internet, but because I realized it isn't mysterious at all. It's just another part of the web. Only the people there are paying much closer attention than the rest of us. They notice details you never even thought about. And unlike most of us, they know exactly what they're looking for, and they usually find it. I never meant to get tangled in something illegal, but when rent was due and my savings were gone, easy money started sounding like salvation instead of a trap. It was late 2021. The freelance coding gigs that once kept me afloat had completely dried up. I was desperate, scrolling through obscure programming forums at 2 a.m., hunting for any paid task that didn't require interviews or references. That's when I found the thread. Quick payout for data sorting and verification. No experience needed. Remote, private work. Use Tor browser only. Contact ID. Redacted. Payment in crypto. It seemed harmless enough on the surface, just organizing spreadsheets. I told myself it was probably some paranoid privacy advocate who didn't want to use normal channels. I ignored the warning signs, downloaded Tor, and followed the instructions exactly. The website was bare bones, a simple login page with the credentials they had provided. Once inside, I saw a clean dashboard with folders named in long random strings. Each folder held multiple Excel files filled with rows of personal information. At first, it really did look ordinary. Columns for full names, email addresses, phone numbers, home addresses, dates of birth. I assumed it was scraped marketing leads or old customer databases. My job was straightforward. Remove duplicate entries, flag incomplete records, and standardize the formatting. I started working, and the hours slipped by quietly. But after 20 minutes or so, small details began jumping out at me. Many rows had extra notes in separate columns. Active, high value, verified access, VIP. Some entries included partial credit card numbers, recent IP login histories, and even passwords written in plain text. A few had links to social media profiles or notes about recent online activity. This wasn't marketing data. This was stolen personal information, likely from a major breach or a targeted hack. My stomach twisted. I froze, mouse hovering over the close button. Part of me wanted to shut everything down and walk away. But another part, the desperate, broke part, whispered that it was probably already leaked data. Old stuff. Harmless at this point. I pushed the unease aside and kept going. Roughly an hour later, a small notification suddenly appeared on the dashboard. Session active, monitored. I hadn't triggered anything. Then, without warning, a chat window popped up in the bottom corner of the screen. Don't overthink the data. Just clean it. My heart started pounding. I hadn't opened any chat. There hadn't even been a chat icon visible before. I stared at the message for a long moment before typing back with shaky fingers. What exactly is this data? There was a brief pause. Then the reply came. You're paid to process, not to question. I didn't respond after that. I finished the current file as quickly as I could, uploaded the clean version, and logged out. Or at least, I thought I had logged out cleanly. The moment I closed Tor browser, my regular internet connection stuttered for a second, a strange, brief lag that felt unnatural. I brushed it off as coincidence. That same night, I checked my main email account and noticed something chilling. A recent login attempt from a city 2 hours away from mine. Not my location, not my device. I immediately changed the password, enabled two-factor authentication everywhere, and tried to convince myself it was unrelated. The next morning, the cryptocurrency payment arrived in my wallet. It wasn't life-changing money, but it was enough to cover 2 weeks of bills. Enough to make me hesitate. Against my better judgment, I logged back in the following evening. This time, the new files were larger and far more detailed. Entire profiles now included workplaces, daily routines, family member names, travel habits, and chilling notes such as lives alone, frequent traveler, no security system, or high net worth, weak passwords. It no longer felt like data cleaning. It felt like helping someone build a list of targets. I stopped working halfway through the second file, my skin crawling. The chat window appeared again instantly. Why did you stop? I stayed silent. Another message followed within seconds. Finish the file. You're already in the system. Those 6 words sent ice down my spine. I slammed the logout button, shut down my laptop completely, and physically unplugged my router from the wall. For the next several days, nothing loud or dramatic happened. No one knocked on my door. No overt threats arrived. But small, unsettling incidents began to pile up. A password reset request appeared on my bank account that I hadn't initiated. My cloud storage showed an unknown device trying to gain access. I started receiving spam calls where the caller already knew my full name and recent activities. Each event by itself could have been brushed off as bad luck or coincidence. Together, they painted a terrifying picture. I wiped my entire system, reinstalled the operating system from scratch, changed every single password I had ever used, and even disabled old accounts I no longer needed. For months afterward, I avoided taking any new freelance work that seemed even slightly suspicious. The cryptocurrency I had earned from that single job sat untouched in my wallet. I couldn't bring myself to spend it. What haunts me most, even now, isn't the stolen data or the monitoring. It's how completely ordinary the work felt while I was doing it. Just another spreadsheet. Just another gig. Just another night at the computer. Until it wasn't. I don't believe I was specially chosen or hunted. I was simply convenient. Another anonymous pair of hands that could be used and discarded when no longer needed. And that's the part that still keeps me up at night. Because the most dangerous things in this world don't always arrive with sirens and red flags. Sometimes they arrive disguised as an easy task on a quiet evening. And by the time you realize how wrong it is, you're already deep inside it.